Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hello friends and welcome to Game 3 in a best of 3 series being played between evil geniuses IdrA. He is once again the red Zerg up here in the top right of Xel'Naga Caverns, hailing from the United States, playing in the IEM World Championships, and his opponent once again is of course MorroW, the blue Zerg down here in the bottom left corner of Xel'Naga Caverns. He is the Swedish player representing Mouse Sports in the World Championships. He won the Global Challenge back in, gosh, I don't know, July, August. It was very early on in StarCraft 2's history. He was actually the first winner of an Intel Extreme Masters StarCraft 2 event. And who did he beat to win that global challenge? Who was it? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was IdrA. And actually, you can watch those games on my channel. I cast them way back when. That was when MorroW was actually playing Terran. If you recall, Reapers were extremely powerful back then, and MorroW knew about it, and IdrA knew about it, and IdrA was educated further upon the subject when MorroW played against him in those finals. It was pretty insane what MorroW did with those Reapers. But now, the playing ground is actually a little bit more even. They are both Zerg now, and IdrA said once before in an interview with Artosis that if MorroW ever won a major tournament, a major live tournament as Zerg, IdrA would never complain about balance again. And if MorroW beats IdrA here, I just don't even know what to say about that. Like, obviously beating IdrA isn't winning an entire major live event as Zerg, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. So IdrA has a lot of respect here at stake if he loses tomorrow. But anyway, aside from that, these are the group stages still, so if IdrA loses tomorrow, he could actually be in worse position in his group, which has another group of amazing players like White Tarson, QXC, and Ace from South Korea. It's a very stacked group right now, actually, so if IdrA loses tomorrow here in this Game 3, he'll actually lose group points, might not even make it into the bracket stages of this Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. So pride on the line, respect on the line, group stage standings on the line. This game has it all, and it's all going to boil down to this Zerg versus Zerg. We saw Banelings and Speedlings versus Banelings and Speedlings on that first map, Blistering Sands. We saw Roach and Speedling against Roach and Speedling on that second map, Lost Temple, and it is all going to boil down to this Xel'Naga Caverns match. We'll see what each player actually does, and if you look at this production tab, you can figure it out pretty quickly. Both players actually went for that Speedling first build. Last game, IdrA was the one to switch it up a little bit. MorroW actually opened with his Speedling build. IdrA opened up Hatch first, so things are a little different this time around on Xel'Naga Caverns. Baneling Nest coming up for each player at the exact same time. Well, not the exact same time. If you're a stickler, it's about 3 to 4 seconds different, and IdrA was the first, if that matters to you. But neither player is expanding just yet. Both players just getting some lings out to battle each other here in the middle of the map near the Xel'Naga Tower. Are they going to run right past each other? No, IdrA actually gets the first hit on MorroW's lings, and that actually could make a difference. 6 lings of IdrA already about to arrive at the main of MorroW. He's got 4 of them hanging out on his ramp, and 2 more headed to IdrA's ramp right now, but IdrA looks like he's going to be able to defend that as well. He's got more than enough drones to handle 2 lings, and MorroW is going to be able to defend this quite easily as well, just because he has this queen here. So Baneling Nests are going to finish for both players before any casualties really occur on either side. Actually, MorroW does lose a ling, and it looks like IdrA still has not lost a ling. Let's just look at that units lost tab to verify. Yes, 25 resources lost for MorroW, 0 lost for IdrA. Notice how both players once again have their overlords totally spread out all across the map. There is not going to be any anti-air for either player for a while, at least until they get layers up. So you can basically put your overlords wherever you want. And if you look at the production tab right now, or just look on your screen, you see MorroW actually getting some Banelings first. IdrA not choosing to make any Banelings just yet. He can just safely run all the way home before actually having to make any, since these Banelings are so slow off of creep, and obviously MorroW can't get that Baneling speed upgrade until he has a lair, which neither player, once again, has started. IdrA still just running around with Speedlings, just kind of bouncing back and forth between bases here, making sure he's got good coverage. He is going to run right back into MorroW's lings here and choose not to do this encounter. He might actually lose a ling there at the tail end of this pack. Look how close those lings are to actually killing each other, but we'll see them collide here soon, I'm sure of it. IdrA does have a few Banelings and actually a Spine Crawler available at the top. Did you see that? He looped around with his Speedlings to try and get them pinned so that one Baneling could try and get in there and splash everything. Unfortunately for IdrA, that did not happen. MorroW did escape unscathed with the majority of his lings, and I'm going to go to busy right now so that doesn't happen again. But either way, IdrA just doing the dance right now, doing the micro tricks to keep his forces alive. MorroW is going to be the first one to expand here at his natural. IdrA poking right back in here. MorroW going to try and keep these lings in place for his 2 banelings to do some damage as well. Queen out in front, way off the creep, just trying to kill some lings, kill some banelings if he can manage to. So MorroW still just on the chase. Both players' speedlings, of course, have the exact same run speed, so if they're both constantly running, they will not be able to hit each other. IdrA just running around safely. That Spinecrawler is going to move down toward the natural of IdrA. MorroW did not build a Spinecrawler of his own. A couple of lings for MorroW coming in, trying to get some additional information. They're going to be jabbed to death by that Spinecrawler. Queen coming off the creep here now for IdrA. Might be able to kill this Overlord if he's got the patience, but otherwise sending his banelings all the way down. Oh, and that's what happens when you kill a baneling. It still splashes and still does enough damage to kill speedlings, evidently. So there we go. MorroW losing a lot of lings, actually killing off MorroW's banelings. Did you see that one? One baneling just killed 2 banelings and some speedlings there for IdrA. MorroW has all the banelings left right now, but IdrA got the best value for that exchange. If you look at units lost right now, it's way in IdrA's favor. Looks kind of, you know, not that big of a deal. 150 resources, really not that bad, but when you consider that all these banelings cost larva, all these speedlings cost larva, that is actually going to be the resource that makes the difference here later on. So MorroW is going to be the first one to have his hatch completed. He's also choosing to go on the offensive a little bit here. I'm sure we're going to see a ton of further baneling and speedling exchanges here. Neither player really moving on just yet from that. IdrA is getting a Roach Warren up right now and still trying to defend his hatchery long enough to keep it from dying. There it does actually finish up, so IdrA in a good position now. These banelings aren't going to be able to really do anything here. Whoa, IdrA almost just made a fatal flaw there, trying to send in all those lings to stop those banelings. One baneling does go down, and IdrA is going to get a great exchange there. Baneling only injured for MorroW, but he did manage to kill some speedlings there as well. Oh, just explode. Bam. All you have to do is hit that explode button. You can do it at any time. IdrA just chose to do it right there at the perfect moment to kill a lot of MorroW's lings. Units lost tab going further in IdrA's favor here. Only 18 loss for IdrA, 34 loss for MorroW. And as we continue, we see both players getting a lot of roaches right now. Another good baneling splash right there. IdrA with all the banelings left here at this natural location. Neither player continuing to make banelings. It looks like the era of the baneling is over. It's all about roaches from this point on. Both players working off of 2 hatches now. Lots of roaches here for MorroW. This actually looks really bad for IdrA if you just see this huge number of roaches, and IdrA actually doesn't have very many of his own. He's only got 2 up right now, so if MorroW chose to press the issue right now, cut drones, and just larva inject to high heaven, he might actually be able to do what IdrA did to him on Lost Temple and overwhelm IdrA, but so far, doesn't look like that's his intention. Could be a mistake. Maybe not. We'll have to see how this continues to unfold. Lair is coming up for IdrA before anything else. Not even going to focus on getting more roaches. Well, just a couple more. But once again, MorroW could be doing a lot of damage with these roaches that he's already got. Instead, he's going to play a little more safe, get a lot more drones out, and soon he will have 41 harvesters to IdrA's 39. Actually, IdrA is making harvesters as well, though, so both players still going to be pretty even. Evolution Chamber coming for MorroW now. Actually, is that the second Evolution Chamber? I believe it might be. There's only one here. No, it's actually the first one. Okay, did IdrA get it? IdrA did get an Evolution Chamber and Missile Attacks level 1, so that makes me think Hydralisks will probably be his unit of choice once this lair is actually completed. MorroW going to poke right back in here, see these roaches, and die instantly. Lots of speedlings still just hanging out. MorroW is sending his army now, though. Here we go. This actually could be the deciding battle rather than those little baneling and speedling exchanges. IdrA actually got the best of those, but with the Spinecrawler here and all this creep here available for IdrA to defend, this could go in his favor. A couple more banelings being made. Actually, only just one more baneling being made to handle those speedlings while the roaches battle each other. Nothing actually going to happen, though, as MorroW continues to just head on home. He is going to break down the destructible rocks here at his gold base location. We look at the harvester count once again. We see MorroW is ahead, 50 harvesters of 43. 43 means that IdrA is building some more structures. He is getting gas number 4 and a second evolution chamber for himself. MorroW's first evolution chamber should be done, and he is getting missile attacks level 1 and a second evolution chamber just to get some further upgrades. So IdrA going to have 2 evolution chambers himself. Could actually start double upgrading as well once his lair is complete, and there it actually is complete. So he needs a hive if he's going to get level 2, though. No, wait, he's already got level 2 researching. That's silly. Anyway, IdrA is going to break down the destructible rocks of his own, try and catch up to MorroW very quickly. Did IdrA actually see this? I'm not sure. He's got a stealthy Overlord just hanging out with the rest of MorroW's Overlords. Now that some anti-air options are starting to come in here with these lairs. Actually, MorroW not even building... Yeah, he did actually get a lair. Wow, totally missed that. But Oh my goodness, I need to slow down for a second so I can make sure everything is even. When it's ZVZ like this, it's hard to keep track of which player is getting which upgrade. And right now, IdrA is getting Pneumatized Carapace, so Overlord Speed, Roach Speed, Missile Attacks level 2, and Ground Armor level 1. MorroW, on the other hand, getting Missile Attacks level 1, so he's slightly behind there. Also, IdrA getting Groove Spines from that Hydralisk den that we just saw a second ago. A couple of Lings coming in here, try and kill some drones. Don't really have too much success with it. They may have gotten about 1 each. MorroW sending in a couple of Overseers now, perhaps stealing a note out of OGS Xenio's book, going to gunk up IdrA's hatcheries and lair. Perhaps, we'll see. Keep an eye on these Overlords, or these Overseers for later. But IdrA is actually ahead in upgrades. He's got Hydralisk coming out before MorroW. MorroW's still getting his den up now. IdrA is taking his third base not too much longer after MorroW started his, so not going to be too far behind in that aspect either. MorroW does have a superior income right now, though, 59 Harvesters against 52, and now we see these Overseers starting to move. I was just waiting for this to happen. Now it looks like he is going to bounce. Look at this. He's already got Contaminate queued up. These Hydralisks move in here, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill this Overseer before it gets Contaminate off. Oh, they do manage to kill it off before it gets a Contaminate. Actually, both Overseers going down, though. MorroW actually dropped a couple of Changelings here. Wonder if IdrA will ever notice this. That is actually going to be interesting to see. However, nothing else really happening on the map. Both players just allowing the other to macro up. Oh, losing those Overseers actually supply blocked MorroW, so that is an even bigger pickup for IdrA than I first imagined. Army value in IdrA's favors now. He's got a lot more Hydralisks on the field, obviously. He's got 21 Roaches, 15 Hydralisks against 32 Roaches and 3 Hydralisks. So these Hydra's actually doing more damage than a Roach does. Hydra's doing 14. Whoa, Roach is doing 20. Is that right? Whoa. Well, Hydralisks at least have a much longer range, and they attack faster, so their DPS... Is DPS actually listed? No, it is not. I'm not sure the exact numbers there, but I believe their DPS is much higher. Either way, IdrA has a superior force here, and he's now on the move, trying to kill off MorroW's third base here, this gold base. All of the Hydralisks staying well behind these armored Roaches. Great move by IdrA. Of course, Micro is going to come into huge play here. IdrA gets the concave, and he gets the first shots off. That actually could make a huge difference. All these Hydralisks here in the back. More Hydralisks coming in now. IdrA has much higher DPS with this remaining force. He's still got a decent concave as well. MorroW pulling a lot of drones here to try and battle off these Hydralisks. More coming in now for IdrA. Not too much more coming in for MorroW. He's reinforcing at a slower rate somehow. And if you look at the army value now, it is all IdrA. 134 supply total against 105 supply. That value, both in minerals and Vespene gas, way higher. Look at the units tab, just if you don't believe me. 17 Hydras against 16. IdrA has superior upgrades, sitting at 2-1, while MorroW is still at 1-1. The amount of Hydralisks there and the upgrades being higher both tip the scales way in IdrA's favor. So MorroW trying to catch up now. He's got +2 missile attacks about to finish here soon. Roach Speed wasn't even done for that encounter. I didn't even realize that. Ground Armor level 2 coming for MorroW. IdrA chose not to upgrade level 2, even though he does have 2 Evolution Chambers he's not even using. He is spending all his money right now, though, getting more Roaches out currently. Has to rebuild that defensive force to tank for all of his Hydras. Free Roach kill there at the Xel'Naga Tower for IdrA. MorroW losing that gold base means that IdrA is going to be way ahead there on Harvesters and army value right now. So IdrA looking like he is going to continue to do well here. Another good concave for MorroW this time actually around, but IdrA does have those superior upgrades. He's got a much higher army value still. MorroW realizes he's beat when he sees this very large force coming. Cannot keep his gold base up. He cancels it once again. So MorroW just saying, good game, well played, not even going to fight it out. He realizes he's beat. He's played enough ZVZs in his life. He knows that IdrA is ahead. And that is going to be it for this best of 3 series. IdrA takes the group points, I guess they're called, for winning this best of 3 and actually winning the series 2-1. So now let's go see some more games from these group stages from the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships.